Hey everyone. I want to talk about a specific kind of silence. It's the silence that happens right after you refresh your digital wallet and realize that the life-changing amount of money you thought you had is gone. Not just dipped, not just in a bear market. Gone. 6 months ago, I was convinced I had found the shortcut. I was going to pay off my parents' mortgage, retire early, and finally be secure. Instead, I fell for a sophisticated crypto scam that drained my entire life savings in 48 hours. I sat in my dark living room, staring at a screen that said 0, feeling a level of shame so deep I couldn't even tell my own wife. I felt like a fool, a failure, and someone God had rightfully abandoned because of my greed. If you've lost money, if you've been scammed, or if you're currently drowning in financial regret, this story is for you, because there is a promise in the Bible that doesn't depend on your bank balance, and it's the only thing that can't be hacked or stolen. It started with a sure thing. We've all heard them. A friend of a friend, a convincing Discord group, a professional-looking platform that promised returns that made my 401k look like a joke. At first, I told myself I was being smart. I'm investing in the future, I said. But if I'm honest, I was being driven by fear and envy. I was tired of the daily grind. I was tired of feeling like I was behind everyone else. I wanted a shortcut to peace. I started small, but the numbers on the screen grew so fast it felt like magic. I got hooked on the dopamine hit of the refresh button. I started moving more money. Money meant for the kids' college, money for my emergency fund. I felt invincible. I didn't realize that my security was built on a digital mirage. I was worshiping a currency that didn't even exist, and I was drifting further and further away from the only provider I actually needed. The crash didn't happen with a bang. It happened with a login failed message, then a deleted Telegram group, then the realization that the customer support was a bot. The moment the truth hit me, it felt like my blood turned to ice. I had lost over $80,000, money I had spent a decade earning. I felt physically sick. I walked around my house looking at my family thinking, I have betrayed you. The shame was paralyzing. I couldn't pray. I felt like I couldn't ask God for help because I had been so stupid. I felt like God was looking at me saying, well, you wanted money more than me, now you have neither. I felt completely and utterly alone in my zero. I was convinced that my value as a man was tied to that number, and since the number was gone, I was worthless. I contemplated things I never thought I'd think about. I felt like the floor of the world had just dropped out. I spent 3 days in a fog of depression. Finally, I opened my Bible, looking for some kind of condemnation, I think. I wanted to feel the weight of my mistake. But instead, I found Hebrews 13:5. Keep your lives free from the love of money, and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. I had read that verse 100 times, but I always focused on the don't love money part as a lecture. But that day, I saw the second half. The reason we don't have to love money, the reason we don't have to panic when it's gone, is because God's presence is the only asset that is unlosable. The scammer took my Bitcoin. They took my savings. They took my retirement. But they couldn't touch the never will I leave you. I realized that I had been trying to buy never leave you with money. I thought money was the thing that would never forsake me. I was wrong. Money is the ultimate flaker. It leaves, it devalues, it gets stolen. Only God stays. The hardest part was coming clean. I told my wife. We cried. We made a plan to work extra hours. We tightened the budget. It wasn't fixed overnight, and the money didn't miraculously reappear in my account. But something else happened. The zero became a space for God to move. I started finding contentment in the things that don't have a ticker symbol. I started enjoying a walk in the park, a meal with my family, and the simple fact that I was still breathing. I realized that the scammer had actually done me a strange favor. They revealed that my foundation was faulty. I had been building my house on a digital cloud. Now I was building it on the rock. My bank account was empty, but for the first time in years, my soul felt full. I learned that contentment isn't having everything you want. It's realizing that what you have in Christ is enough, even when you have nothing else. If you're watching this and you're in that dark living room right now, if you're staring at a loss that feels insurmountable, please listen to me. You are more than your net worth. The shame you feel is a lie from the enemy to keep you from the one who wants to carry you. You made a mistake, but you are not a mistake. Money is a tool, not a god. And while the world might forsake you when you're broke, the creator of the universe says, I am right here. Don't let the loss of your money become the loss of your life. God has a future and a hope for you that doesn't require a crypto wallet to access.
Thanks for watching. Here are today's reflection questions. What sure thing or shortcut are you tempted to trust more than God's provision right now? If your bank account hit zero tomorrow, what would reveal itself as your true foundation? Drop your thoughts about the story in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else facing the same choice. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories about finding God in our deepest struggles.